This review has been brought to you in part by airsoftair.com. Hi, welcome back. Ollie's Airsoft, and we're doing another review today, and I'm just going to give you a kind of indication of where the next couple of vids are going to go. Got an email from a company in Dundalk called Airsoft Air. They're quite a big name in retailing in Ireland. They do a lot of online stuff, so if you're outside of the country, these guys will ship. But basically, Liam from Airsoft Air gave me an email and sent me an email and said, "Jer, any chance of you reviewing a few bits and pieces for us on your channel?" And being the prostitutes that we are, myself and Mark said, "Yeah, absolutely, no problem. Look, that's what keeps us going at this channel, is the kindness of the retailers out there who are sort of sending us bits and pieces for review, and it's great. And the more companies that do it to us, sort of the more we can keep going." But anyway, back to Airsoft Air. So I had no idea what we were going to get. He sent me a box, and it was kind of one of those unboxing moments where I had a look in it, and there was a lot of oohing and ahhing and a bit of rubbing of the old noggin at some of the other stuff. Let's get to it. What was in the box? Well, the first thing in the box was ASG's Ingram M11. We have reviewed that, and that video is coming up shortly. The other thing that was, I really was blown away by when I found this in the thing, because I think these are dead sexy, was the Airsoft Innovations Tornado Impact Grenade. Again, we've done a full review on that, and that will be up with you shortly. There are a pair of mechanics gloves, and it's very hard to kind of do a proper review on gloves because they're gloves, you know, and there's not really much you can say about them, but I'm going to get into that in a second. And the other thing was these little cans by Abbey Gun Solutions. And you know what, when I first looked at these, I went, holy crap, Batman, how the hell am I going to review these? And then the more I thought about it, the more I said, you know what, it's stuff that most airsofters should have in their inventory. If they want to look after their guns, if they want to look after their equipment, you know, these are must-haves. So, taking the first thing first, anti-fog. Again, made by Abbey Gun Solutions. Most people use a variety of different methods to stop themselves fogging up. A lot of players have moved over to mesh goggles. Word to the wise, it's happened to me already. Especially if bio BBs are being used, they will fracture and splinter on impact and have a potential to break through the mesh goggle and into your eye. I have had a BB splinter on my mesh goggles and get into my eye. No damage was done, luckily, but I'm beginning to lean more and more, as Mark has done, to wearing full polycarbonate lenses just for safety. Anti-fog is a must-have if you're using polycarbonate. I haven't tested this out in the airsoft world yet, but what I did do was I was out running the other night, and yeah, go figure, me jogging, that must be a sight. I went for a run, and I came back, very humid evening, and I was sweating profusely, which isn't pretty. And what happened was I put on some goggles and they fogged up instantly. Took off the goggles, gave them a wipe with the anti-fog, put on the goggles again, and I ran up and down the stairs and wore the goggles for about 15-20 minutes in the house, just walking around and doing a few bits. And in fairness, I have to say, it stopped 98% of the fogging. There was a little bit of fogging on the edges, but enough to impress me to say I'm going to give this a proper going in the field. So if you're looking for anti-fog, check them out. Now the next three items, these would be more for the players who have an active interest in stripping down their guns, shimming gearboxes, cleaning gearboxes, doing a little bit of internal work. First up was by Abbey Gun Solutions, was a degreasing spray. Now most people who know anything about gearboxes know that when you're cleaning them out, you actually have to take away all the grease and oil that's built up over the last while. And the easiest and quickest way is to either go to a motor factors and buy like an engine degreaser spray, or you can get one of these purpose-built ones, and this is, as I said, a degreasing spray onto a cloth or straight onto the metal of the gearbox. Give it a good rub with a cloth, and then give it a good soapy wash, and you will get it absolutely crystal clear of any oils or muck or grease. So you know, a must have, absolutely brilliant. So on a shimming job then, you know, when you've shimmed your gears and you're putting your gearbox back together, this is Abbey Gun Solutions Gun Grease LT2. It's a very thick grease, as you can see. This isn't for in between the shims, this would be onto your bevel, spur or sector gear. Again, you wouldn't be using much, there's plenty in the pot, and about 50 mils. Let's say you're not going to be using an awful lot of it per gearbox, so again, that's going to last a long time. So that's your gun grease. And then the last tin they sent me was this silicone gun oil. Now, at the end of a day's gaming, it's always wise to have a cloth in your bag and a tin of silicone oil. A little bit onto the, spray it onto the cloth and give your gun a little rub down or wipe down. It cleans off the gun, takes away off any fingerprints. You know, fingerprints that you've had on all day are, well, they are corrosive to the paint and they are corrosive to the metal, and over time will sort of slightly damage your gun. So again, it's handy to get into a whole thing of treat your airsoft toy as you would a real steel firearm. Not only in safety, but also in maintenance. And if you do that, you'll have a lot less trouble with it. So, as I said, when I first took these out of the bag, how the hell am I going to review these and why would I want to review these? And then I thought about it and I said, oh, hang on, these are items that most airsofters should own. They should have in their itinerary, inventory, and certainly something that is, and because they're so handy and small, they don't take up too much room in your bag. So check out Airsoft Air's website, they sell all of these online. So that brings me on to my next thing, and these are the gloves. Made by a company called Mechanics. They originally built or made gloves for the motor industry, for people who are working on vehicles and motors and bits and pieces, but in the last while they have started making real steel version for armed forces and obviously for enthusiasts like airsofters. Now, a while ago I did a review on my Oakley SI gloves, and I have to say I haven't wavered. They are singly the best glove on the market, but they're also one of the most expensive. These are a high-end glove at a mid-range price. Now, gloves are a must-have for airsofters. We're not real soldiers, and after a day's gaming we have to head back to our real world, our real lives, and having fingers and thumbs intact is always a good thing. Most of the sites we played are fairly good sites. They're not going to be broken glass on the ground or things that are, you know, potential barbed wire. But that said, I have been to a number of sites that haven't been as well run as my favourite ones, and there have been those kind of items knocking around, and it is quite easy to do damage to yourself. So having a pair of gloves is very important, even just for climbing through gorse, nettles and thorn bushes and stuff. And the thing I like about these gloves, A, the quality of the build is superb. They're fantastic. Now, I own a number of other gloves other than my Oakleys, a couple of Viper 5-on-1s, and none of them fit as well as this. These gloves are brilliantly made. You know, every bit of stitching is perfect. You can tell they're high end, you can tell they're high quality. Now, my initial reaction was when I put them on is the underside here on the palm is of a suede soft material. There's no grip on it, and my kind of concern is, will it sort of hinder, you know, holding onto the gun, or will it make it slippy on the actual grabbing of your AEG? Can't answer that one because I haven't used these in the field, and in fact I'm not going to use these in the field because Mark is actually going to take these and review them properly. So we will be doing an update down the line of these gloves and see what we think of them, or what Mark thinks of them, having worn them in the field. But first impressions, I have to tell you, the old saying, it fits like a glove. Well, these really do, and a lot of my other gloves don't. These are a size medium. I don't have particularly big hands, but these are only a medium and they fit perfectly. If I'd have got a large, they probably would have been too big for my hands. But all in all, superb piece of kit. One of the best sets of gloves I've seen on the market outside of the Oakleys. And as I said, the Oakleys are just my favourites, and it's hard, I'm a little bit biased towards them, so it's hard to give a genuine review sometimes when you're that biased. We would like to thank airsoftair.com again for all their help.